So what would you say your formula is, if there is one, for your style of leadership?
Well, I think I'm pretty very focused on the big picture, and very enthusiastic,
Right.
and very I don't think anybody's going to outwork me, and so I think that people tend to follow that.
Yeah, yeah. And do you feel that you try to, or you feel that you want to put that type of energy and inspiration onto others, so that they're in the long term? You talk about the big picture, that they'll lead others.
Well, you hope so, and you hope that the natural leaders kind of, I think you got to tell, I don't think kids, or college age or high school age kids actually know how to lead per se. I think some have a knack, but I really do think you need to show them how and tell them how, and that's something that I'm looking forward to doing here, because I think these guys, we got some great leadership potential at this school.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, yeah. Because people talk about, and I've heard this for years, people say about born leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But you just kind of highlighted it as that people have the knack, and they'll have certain elements.
Right.
But they'll need someone to give them more direction and piece it together.
Absolutely. I don't believe anybody's necessarily a born leader. You either learn from watching a good one, or somebody's mentored you, but very few people just pop up and start doing it.
Yeah.
But I think you do have to have a certain skill set in order to capitalize on it.
Yeah. And who inspired you with the way that you lead?
Well, yeah, I had some really wonderful coaches in high school and college that really inspired me, and then over the years, I worked with some guys that were really bad, right. And that they I learned from them. How not to do it, and then I worked with some guys that I thought were really good, and you take a little bit from everybody you work with, and whether it be positive or negative, and and then try to develop your own style.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Would you say there's what are the do's? You got your do's and don'ts. What are the do's for being a leader or a good leader?
Well, I think the do's is you got to lead from the front. You can't be. You got to lead by example. I think another do is you got to tell people what you expect, and and have a big picture. Have to have a vision, and paint the vision, and get people to buy into the vision, and then I think you need to enable people to do it. Everybody wants to do a job, and so you need to give people. That's a piece of the pie, so that everybody wants a little bit of ownership, and that's one of the things that it's been interesting here at Menlo, just giving up pieces of the pie to people and saying, hey, you run with this, and here's what I want, and you go get it done, and people like to do that, and so I think good leaders allow people to run with it.
Yeah. And would you say that with that it's learning about people and being observant?
Well, I think you got to make some quick decisions when you meet people, but for the most part, you got to kind of, just like any good coach, you got to look at what your playing pieces are, and then how you're going to play the game. And we obviously I got a young coaching staff here, but they're energetic and enthusiastic, and so I think you just got to play those cards.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things that when I speak to people about leadership, and they say, look, you've got to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess there's different types of honest.
Well, I think there's the brutal kind, and there's the graceful kind.
Right.
And nobody likes the brutal.
No.
And I think everybody appreciates the graceful, and I think there's a lot of ways to deliver a message, and I know a lot of times with people, I'll say, hey, we still gonna be friends if I tell you the truth. And if they say, yeah, we will, I'll tell them. And if they say no, you don't tell them. Because, it just, the friendship's more important than getting that done. But, I just think, I think that whole thing is, I think everybody at some level responds to honesty and appreciates it.